And I'm so upset. That's why I'm such a supporter of Glenn Beck. I really consider him, like you, Alex, I really consider you a crusader, and I consider Glenn Beck a crusader of what we need to do, because the whole thing is we're going to lose our Constitution. Well, Patrick Henry said the Constitution is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It's an instrument for the people to restrain the government, lest it come to dominate our lives. And I believe that's what's happening to us today. Yeah, it's meant to bind down the out-of-control behavior of dominant men. I've got a list of just quick questions here that I want to make sure I get out while we have Chuck Norris live with us on this Friday the 13th. Unlucky for the elite, lucky for us. And let me just say, I like a lot of the things Glenn Beck has to say and the things he does. Some of his foreign policy I don't agree with. And you know, he early on really kind of criticized Ron Paul. Now he's embraced him. So I hope that that continues. I mean, Ron Paul is such a champion of liberty. Well, you know, I have a saying. I don't know if I told you. Anyway, you know, all these Chuck Norris facts that are floating around for the last 3 years. Anyway, one of them is that America is not a democracy. It's a Chuck-patorship. And I've said, now, if that was true, I would go to Washington, to Congress. I'd line up all the members of Congress, and I'd have Ron Paul, who I believe is the most honest member of Congress, and I'd say, Ron, point out the honest and the dishonest politicians. And as we're walking down the row, Ron would say, well, he's honest, he's dishonest. And I walk up to him, and I'd say, you're fired. And if he didn't move immediately, I'd choke him unconscious and drag him over to the pile. The only ones I wouldn't do that to is the women. Nancy Pelosi, I'd walk up and say, Nancy, you're fired, but you have all the time in the world to leave.
Chuck Norris, just amazing to have you on air with us. I want to get into what's coming up today with this nationwide simulcast. I've seen reports of a big announcement. Are you going to announce you're going to try to run for governor of Texas in 2010? Or are you going to announce you're going to run for president?
I did a little tongue-in-cheek article, you know, when I wrote about if things don't improve in our country, then maybe Texas should secede from the Union. Now it's tongue-in-cheek, you know. And I said, now if we secede from the Union, I will run for the president of Texas.
Well, you know, not talking about secession. But the states created the first 13, and we have the right to revolt, Article 10, in the New Hampshire and Texas, you know, treated in.
Because we are a republic. Texas is a republic, so.
Exactly. We created the federal government. The states did, and the media spun this as secession. These 30-plus states are moving to redeclare 9th and 10th Amendment with all these unfunded mandates and federal control. What do you say to that?
Oh, I don't know. You know, I'm not really. I'm not up on that, Alex. So I can't really give an honest.
But I mean, states declaring their sovereignty, not seceding, just saying we're not going to let the federal government boss us around.
Oh, is that well? I hope they do that. The thing is that's what the states have got to do. They've got to get control back of their people of that particular state, and if that's what they're saying, I'm totally in support of all that. We got to pull the power away from government, and you know, because the thing is, you know, John Adams, our second president, stated that our Constitution was made only for a religious and moral people, and I really believe that, Alex, and it's wholly inadequate for the government of any other. And the thing is, if we don't just maintain our faith and our moral values, you know, then the Constitution is going to wind up dissolving right in front of our eyes.
Chuck, I don't blame you about knowing about the state sovereignty movement because it just started a few weeks ago, but you're very influential when it comes to conservatives and libertarians and freedom lovers. So check into that because it's really building. Some of the other questions I have for you specifically, what are you going to be covering on this national simulcast tonight?
Well, it's at 4 o'clock. You know, is it raining in Austin?
Yes, it is raining in Austin.
Yeah, well, it's raining here at the ranch, too. But the thing is, you know, I just encourage all your listeners to tune in to to Glenn Beck today at 4 o'clock Central Time. And Glenn will really fill them in. He can do it a lot better than I can on what course of action that he believes we should take in our country. And I believe that people really should listen to Glenn today to find out exactly what he feels and how millions of us in America who are gathering together today to support the values that Glenn is going to emphasize on today.
Well, I agree with the 10 pledges up there. I mean, you know, the ideas there. Maybe we should go over some of those.
Well, because the thing is, like Glenn says, the government works for me. I do not answer to them; they answer to me. Oh, see, that's exactly right. I truly believe that too. The government works for us. In fact, I wrote an article saying that, President Obama, you work for me. We don't work for you. But the thing is, it's true, though. I mean, seriously, the government should be thinking about the best interest of the citizens of America, we the people, rather than thinking of the best interest for them. And there's so much corruption going on in Congress. I would love to see an audit of every member of Congress. Well, and because the only ones that we've audited so far are the ones that have come forward, like Geithner and Daschle, and every one of them that have been picked for a position in government have come up dirty.
Well, Chuck Norris, that was my next question. Perfect timing there. Obama appointee on leave after FBI raid at their office and arrest. Like 90%, it's more than that, of people he tries to appoint don't pay taxes or tied in with payoffs or tied in with corruption.
Exactly.
And I've never seen, this is Chicago big machine stuff. This is getting scary. And then we see
scary.
We see these reports
because the thing is, they have become so blatant, and that they're not afraid. It's like this one kid went up to Charles Rangel. I don't know if you saw that or not, but anyway, yes. Some young man was videotaping him talking to Rangel and said, Mr. Congressman Rangel, why are we paying for your Cadillac, $800 a month for your Cadillac? Why don't you pay for it for yourself? And he said, it's none of your GD business.
Yeah, why does Nancy Pelosi...
Smiling, but he says none of your GD business,
Very arrogant. Well, Nancy Pelosi...
They're very arrogant, Alex, and because they don't think we the people can do anything about what they're doing, and we can't unless we group together, unless we unite. There's nothing we can do.
Well, Chuck Norris, I know you're a very focused, centered, gentlemanly person, but laying it out, reading your article on WorldNet Daily and others, and listening to you on other radio shows and things you've said, you're talking about, will the American people stand up, or will there be a revolution? If this is an information revolution that's happening, but I have the government documents, I have the secret state police reports that the feds give them, where they say Bob Barr, Ron Paul, Chuck Baldwin, libertarians, people with these stickers are dangerous, they're bad, they want to kill...
Who said that?
This is what the feds, this just went out this month, so clearly it's coming from the Obama people. It's up on Infowars.com. I've talked to the state police. They admit this was given to them by the feds to issue to their state police officers, saying people that own gold are bad. It's up on screen right now. It's it's called the modern militia movement, but then it demonizes mainline libertarians and everybody and says, watch out for them, they're dangerous. It seems like people in the federal government right now realize the threat to them is people that are talking like you, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is the libertarians. A lot of my friends are libertarians, and I've even considered it at times. Because the Republicans are getting so far out there too. 40% of the Republicans voted for the stupid stimulus package. And that really frustrated me. They realize, but the thing is, there's the corruption, there's the greed right there, Alex. And
well, that was my next question. This is perfect. You keep bringing up the same points I was about to get to. Look, I cut my teeth as a conservative. I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm a constitutionalist, paleo conservative, the real deal. Yeah. Bush tripled the size of government with the Democrats. Obama is set to quadruple it in the first 4 years, and saying he's going to cut the budget in half, insulting people with lies. And you talk about this not being left or right. How do we get the corruption out of both parties?
Voting, thing is that's what we have to figure out. That's what we as the people have to figure out, and we have to put the fire on them, saying, look, if you don't vote the way that we feel you should vote as the people, then you're going to be out. And, we wind up impeaching. We don't wait for them till they're thing up. We wind up impeaching every member of Congress who is not working for the people and just working for themselves. We wind up impeaching them. If there's a legal way we can do that, I don't know. There is a legal way of doing that. I think that's what we should do, is make them realize that we're going to impeach them if they don't start thinking of the best interest of the people that they represent.
Chuck, you can't see this because you're not watching PrisonPlanet.tv right now, but for viewers, I have the federally written report, secret report, and law enforcement sensitive for the state of Missouri, and we have these from all over the country. And it says Constitutional Party Campaign for Liberty, Ron Paul, Bob Barr. These members are usually supporters of, and it goes on demonizing. They have a picture of the Don't Tread on Me flag. They said if somebody's wearing a shirt or has a bumper sticker, they're dangerous. But that's what Glenn Beck's using for the very symbol of what you guys are launching. This is what our founding fathers did. Our founding fathers aren't bad.
No, not at all. I really respect Ron Paul. I admire him. I admire his dedication, and I admire his staunchness on the Constitution. You know that it's a solid formula, and that we cannot deviate from. And so that's why I'm a big supporter of Ron Paul. And we just got to. It's so frustrating. I don't know. Thing is, I don't know what to do personally. All I can do is write articles about it and state how I feel about it.